I'm a big fan of mouth taping after experimenting with it for the last year or so. And today I'm excited to share my favorite mouth tapes based on stuff I've tried. Hey guys, it's Vivek from Mindtome once again. Excited to be back for another episode of Mindtome. And today I'm sharing my favorite mouth tapes and my reviews of the ones I've tried. So a little backstory before we get into the review. Last year I listened to an episode of the Broken Brain podcast. I'll link it in the description below. And it was with Dr. Mark Burhenne. And he was explaining the benefits of nose breathing and the importance of trying out mouth tape if you're a mouth breather. And I definitely was. I was snoring, I was drooling at night, had dry mouth, lots of issues. And a lot of the issues that he was talking about in the podcast. You know, having some weight issues, having aches and pains, just not feeling rested when I slept, even though I would get a solid 8-9 hours of sleep. And since then, I've become a huge believer in the benefits of mouth taping. I became even such a big fan that my girlfriend Ula and a bunch of my friends and family have started to get into mouth taping as well. That's actually a good thing because we all have different mouths and skin, so different tapes can affect us differently based on how sensitive our skin is and our mouths and lips are. Like for example, for me, my skin isn't super sensitive. I also have a beard clearly, but my girlfriend's quite the opposite. She has no beard and her skin is a bit more sensitive than mine is. So the mouth tapes that worked for me weren't exactly ideal for her. So a few months ago, we decided to just basically order every mouth tape that we could find on Amazon and give them all a try for a couple weeks or a couple days and see what we liked better and what we didn't like as much. Before we get into reviewing each of the mouth tapes in detail, I'll give you a little spoiler. All of them have different benefits for different reasons. And while that might sound not ideal for you, to be honest, like we all are a bit different. Like I mentioned before, our skins, if we have beards, if we have different treatments before we go to bed. So I put all those things into consideration when creating this video. And hopefully it'll be helpful for you. So the first one is Azazar's cross lip mouth tape. It sort of goes across your mouth like so on an X. Actually, this was the very first mouth tape I tried, and it got me into it. So I'll have to say it was a pretty solid product. I think if it wasn't very good, I probably would have just given it up in the first place. So all the mouth tapes I've tried are hyperallergenic, and part of the reason I chose this brand and this option was because of the price. It was pretty affordable. I think it was definitely cheaper than the most expensive brand, and it gotten pretty good reviews on Amazon. And reviews have mentioned that people could use this tape over and over again. They didn't have to throw, each time they used it, didn't have to throw it away, which I thought might be nice to save some money. And to be honest, like it lived up to everything people said in the reviews. It was great. For me, even with my beard, it didn't cause any issues. But for my girlfriend Ula, it was a little bit more irritating for her sensitive lips and her sensitive skin. Plus, sometimes she puts some ointments or oils on her skin before going to bed, which also made it a little bit annoying for her. So overall, I would say Azazar is a really good product. It's what I started with, and it really got me into mouth taping in the first place. So if you're someone like myself with not super sensitive skin, don't put a lot of ointments or things like that on your face before going to bed, it's probably a great product. But if you are someone who's a little bit more sensitive and you do put oils or ointments on your face before going to bed, may not be the ideal product. And one other last thing about it, there's a couple other brands I noticed doing the sort of X style mouth tape, and I tried them. And those ones the adhesive was not as good. They might be cheaper than Azazar's, but the adhesive was definitely not as good. I didn't find it a very good product and wouldn't recommend it. So just watch out for knockoffs, and if you're going to do Azazar, if you're going to do something like the X crossed mouth tape, go with Azazar. So our second mouth tape is Woody Nose mouth strips. This actually happens to be my girlfriend Ula's favorite one, and it's for a couple reasons. A, the adhesive isn't super strong, so for her sensitive skin, it doesn't bother her when she takes it off in the morning. Secondly, in the middle of the mouth tape, it has like a patch, a bit like a Band-Aid does, and that patch covers her lips, so there's no glue or adhesive that's touching her lips. But for me, unfortunately, it didn't work as well because of my beard. The adhesive not being as strong, it didn't stick as well to my skin. So overall, it's definitely a great product. If you have sensitive skin, you put ointments, things like that, it could be a great product for you. But for me, it just wasn't ideal. On top of it, the other downside of this product is it's a little bit more pricey than a lot of the other mouth tapes. So if you're going to buy a lot of these and use them regularly, it's something that could add up. It's not crazy expensive, but it's a little bit more expensive than some of the other mouth tape options. So our third mouth tape is Somnifix's mouth tape. This is a mouth tape that's basically super well designed for mouth taping. I think actually Dr. Mark Burhenne is behind this mouth tape. He seems to be connected to a lot of their ads, so I think he maybe made it or he's become a fan of it. So definitely a great product. Overall, it was a really good quality product. I felt like I got some of the best sleep using this mouth tape. For Ula as well, it was pretty good. But for her sensitive lips, it definitely was tough because it does literally cover your entire mouth with adhesive. That adhesive is not super strong, so it's not terrible for her, but for her sensitive lips, it wasn't ideal. For me, I thought it was a great product. I used it for a long time, and I still think it's a great product. The couple downsides are for me as well about it. A, it's a bit expensive. I think it's actually the most expensive of all the mouth tapes. Secondly, it's designed a bit like a Band-Aid, so there's a covering on the front and the back, and you sort of peel it open just like you would a Band-Aid. And the tape itself is pretty large, so it's a bit of a wasteful product. It just, someone like myself who's eco-friendly, I think about these things a lot, and there's a lot of packaging that goes with it. And if you're using this almost daily, it kind of adds up and it doesn't feel good when you're just throwing these away all the time. So overall, I would say the Somnifix mouth tape is really good. If you're new to mouth taping, you're a little nervous about trying it, it's a very specifically designed tape for your mouth. And for most people, it's probably a great solution. But if you're a little bit price sensitive or you're conscious about being eco-friendly, this might not be the ideal pick. And then last but not least is good old-fashioned 3M paper mouth tape. Actually, it's not really called mouth tape. It's just a paper tape by 3M. But when I was searching on Amazon for mouth tapes, this appeared. So I thought I'd give it a shot. At first, I didn't love it. It's a pretty strong adhesive, and I did, because it's just a good old-fashioned tape. You have to create how long you want to make it. So for me, it wasn't ideal at first, but I gave it a shot. I kept trying it. What I liked about it was its eco-friendliness. There's not much packaging around it. It's actually made out of paper. So for me, and it's actually very affordable. It's definitely the cheapest of all of options. So for me, it kind of made sense in lots of ways, and I thought maybe worth trying to see if I can make it work. And like I said, while at first it wasn't ideal, after trying it for a couple weeks, I ended up really loving it, and now it's my favorite mouth tape. I've been using it exclusively for 2 or 3 months now, and I love it. If you're someone like myself with not super sensitive skin, don't mind washing a little bit of the adhesive residue off your face when you wash your face in the morning, then it's a great option. And it's totally affordable, like I said. It's generally pretty eco-friendly. All around, it's a perfect option for getting into mouth taping. So for a quick recap, Azazar is a great option if you're a little bit price sensitive and don't have super sensitive skin. Definitely check it out. The packaging is also not too heavy in terms of its eco footprint. Secondly, woody nose. This is Ula's favorite. If you have sensitive skin, put oils or ointments, this is definitely a good option. And if you're not super price sensitive, then definitely something to consider. Yeah, if you don't mind paying a little bit of a premium, and you're looking for something very specifically designed for mouth taping, and maybe you're even a little bit nervous about getting into mouth taping, the Somnifix mouth tape, definitely a great option. And lastly, good old-fashioned paper tape from 3M. If you are someone like me who's a bit eco-friendly, tries to be thoughtful about how you spend your money, and not you don't have super sensitive skin, it's a perfect option for you. So hopefully this was super helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. If you're curious to learn more about mouth taping and its amazing benefits, I actually created a video about that a couple months ago after experimenting with mouth tape for about 100 days or so. It'll be somewhere here on the screen or in this description below. Definitely check it out. It's been a great, I'm very thankful to have discovered mouth tape, and it's been very beneficial. If this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.